Hello and welcome to this week's simulation news. This week we have some news about the upcoming Bus Simulator 2021, which we have yet to discuss on the Simulation News series, and some information about the brand new DLC that was released by SCS Studios for Euro Truck Simulator 2 Iberia. And we will also talk about the next DLC that SCS is working on, because now that Iberia is out, you are probably wondering what part of Europe is coming next. All of this coming shortly. So, first of all, Bus Simulator 21 is being developed by Astragon Studios, and you probably guessed it, it's the Unreal Engine 4. So this means that even though the minimum requirements aren't yet out, you can probably guess what they will be. You can just use Train Sim World 2, Tram Sim, and The Bus by TML Studios to gauge in and around the mark where the minimum and recommended requirements will be. One thing to note and mention is they seem to have done a fairly good job with the UE4, and that the lighting seems to be quite good. So they seem to have done a slightly better job than with the Bus or Tram Sim, and it seems to be as about the same level as with TSW2. Nonetheless, let's get into the details of Bus Simulator 21, what it will feature, and that kind of stuff. So Bus Simulator 21 is a license with 6 real-life bus manufacturers, and the first of which is Alexander Dennis. One thing to bear in mind is that the game is completely and only left-hand drive, so there will not be any right-hand drive buses, and hence you will notice that both the Enviro 500 and the Enviro 200 in the picture are both left-hand drive. So, in addition, we also have Grand West, which makes buses for the United States. We have Iveco, Cetra, BYD, which is a Chinese bus manufacturer making electric buses. You may know them if you're in London because they have some buses there that are electric as well. And then these are the features. All of these brands you're probably already familiar with. I think there's one more bus brand there that we might have missed. So the features of Bus Simulator 21 will be 2 maps. We'll have a map based on the US and a map based on Europe, both of which are fictional, but they are based on real life areas. So you have Angel Shores, which is a brand new map, and then you have the European Seaside Valley, which is being basically ported over from Bus Simulator 18 for the most part. So it's a bit unfortunate that they haven't added in a real life map, because I think in this day and age, it's a real life map that people really want. But nonetheless, in addition to the Seaside Valley from Bus Sim 18, it's also going to have 2 new areas, Kirchstadt and Sonnstein, which basically means Sunstone. So you can tell that this European map is mainly based in around Germany, where Astragon Studios is based. Then again, there'll also be multiplayer and single player. There'll be a Chinatown district as well, hilly countryside, business park, all the kind of different areas and zonings you will find in a city in general. Different levels. There'll also be a economy mode, so a bit like ETS2, Euro Truck Simulator 2, the bus company simulator for Omsi 2. You're able to manage your bus company if you so wish, or you can let the AI handle that and you can just focus on the driving. And there's also single player and multiplayer, and this will be available on console, much like Bus Simulator 18. So yeah. Then again, this is just a bit more about what's being featured, the licensed buses, the AI traffic, and that kind of stuff. You can always take over AI buses if you so wish. And that's pretty much Bus Simulator 21. Some people think this will be the next Omsi 2. But to be honest, I think it does seem like an interesting game. So they're nice to have these real life buses. And I do think, it certainly has a reach and scope, but will it be the Omsi 2, the next Omsi 2? I'm afraid not, unless there is there's mod tools, which there's no reference to at all. I don't really see this being the next Omsi 2, because I see these maps, kind of not waiting interest for long enough. I mean, the Bus Simulator 18 is kind of not really played that much anymore. But nonetheless, there's new buses, the graphics look good, the gameplay looks good. It seems like it'll be a nice addition, but unless they add in modding tools, one can be a bit skeptical about how much of a chance it has to compete with Omsi 2. But anyway, that's a whole different topic, a bit off topic from the news. The next thing we have is Euro Truck Simulator 2, the Iberia DLC. This was originally meant to be released last year in December, but it got slightly delayed. But it was released on the 8th of October 2021, and it's the standard price whenever a new DLC comes out for Euro Truck Simulator 2, €18. And the reviews overall have been fairly positive. They've been saying this is the best DLC for Euro Truck Simulator 2 so far, that the map quality is a whole new level, which obviously is an improvement. As you know, the map quality tends to improve and improve with each subsequent DLC. And of course, the fact that the cities now are located better is obviously a positive, because sometimes the cities are not done great justice. So all the scenery and the in between, and it's like kind of the rural drives and all that, and the motorways are done well. The cities sometimes are bit too small, I find, and lacking, or don't do some real life places justice. But nonetheless, it seems with the Iberia DLC, this issue has been reduced, and the reviews seem to be quite positive. So certainly a great start to the DLC. But I think most of the DLCs are very positive, apart from I think Going East. Anyway, here are the features. We have a desert. You have your landmarks is obviously connected to mainland Europe because it's a peninsula, and yeah, pretty much Iberia, Spain. Here's the map. It features Spain and Portugal, a lot of major cities like Madrid, Lisbon, Valencia, Albacete, Burgos, Leon, Sevilla, Malaga. Yeah, pretty much it's all there. All the major cities. And one thing to mention is, obviously, if you're not aware, it's a 1:19 scale. So basically, the map is 19 times smaller than in real life. So not all areas in real life are portrayed or featured in the map. And in addition, since there's a new DLC out, for those of you who don't own Euro Truck Simulator 2, you can avail of this sale, I think, which is available. It is available for the whole weekend up until Monday, as far as I'm aware. And there you can get all the DLCs for 70% off. You can get the game for 75% off, apart from Road to the Black Sea, which is 50% off, and obviously Iberia is full price because it's a brand new release. But then again, this sale is something you might be able to avail of if you so wish. It's a fairly regular sale, but nonetheless, now that Iberia is out, it's a nice gesture from SCS's behalf. And of course, now you're probably wondering that Iberia is out. What is the next DLC that SCS is working on? And here it is. So you can find this on the Steam page. It will say TBC. So this is the next DLC in development. There's speculation that it might be Ireland, that it might be the West Balkans, or that it might be Russia. And indeed, it is Russia. Russia is already in game from things beyond the Baltic Sea, or roads about, yeah, beyond the Baltic Sea, where St. Petersburg is featured. And obviously it's kind of good that they didn't do the Road to the Baltic Sea and then Russia straight away, because the scenery is kind of more similar than if they do Iberia and then Heart of Russia, because this way it varies the scenery and keeps the DLCs fresher, I think. Anyway, Heart of Russia, it will feature, as you can see here, going more into mainland Russia. I think it's basically probably until the border with Asia, because obviously this is a European truck simulator, so it's only really going to feature Europe. There is a Trabant, classic car from the Soviet era. And then if you take a look here, this is the content. Will feature Moscow, Volga, and Oscar rivers, forests, etc. And yeah, there it is. And it's going to be connected to the Baltic Sea as well. So all in all, it seems like a very promising addition and something to look forward to in the future. And that is it for now. This brings us to an end to this week's simulation news. Make sure to subscribe for your regular simulation news updates, as well as the weekly Omsi 2 news updates. Join the Discord server where you can stay even more on top and stay on top even more quicker, because obviously the videos are scheduled, whereas if the information is posted straight on the Discord as it comes in. And then of course, any questions, comments, especially if you own any of the Iberia DLC, let us know what your opinions are on it. That is it for now. Until next time.